Hello, everyone, and welcome to Circuit Stream's Product Management Bootcamp Pitch Day today. Today, we're celebrating the amazing journey and graduation of our February product management cohorts. Over the past few months, these students have sharpened their skills, taken on real-world challenges, and built solutions that highlight the creativity and mindset of true product managers. This event brings together an incredible mix of industry professionals to hear their fresh ideas and graduates to showcase their expertise, and of course, our community in the audience that is excited to get front row look at the future of product managers. You're about to see innovative projects, smart strategies, problem solving skills that will help shape the product and experiences of tomorrow. So let's celebrate their hard work and encourage their pitches and the exciting careers that lie ahead of them. Just a few things before we begin today. Today's event will be approximately 2 hours, so we finish at about 3-ish p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Though only our partners and presenters can go up on stage to speak, we welcome all attendees to participate in the chat, so please feel free to give questions, ask any feedback, and whatever else there may be. Throughout these pitches, we will be playing some embedded YouTube videos, and these will be played at full volume on our end, but please be prepared to adjust the volume as we play the slides, since the volume may vary. And lastly, a reminder to our guest speakers, please make use of the moderator chat for internal communications and the general chat for anything else. So with that, let's get started. So, hi everyone, I am Mahnur, and ultimately my goal is to get job seekers in our career program closer to jobs, help build their professional networks, and ideally get them hired. I have brought in several esteemed guests today from different tech companies across the country. Some are hiring managers and some have a technical role, but essentially my hope is that this is an opportunity for everyone to network, connect, and chat about the product management industry. At Circuit Stream, our mission is to bridge the gap between learning and industry. So my role here is to help students take everything they've learned and turn it into a real career momentum. And I get to support them in building their job-ready portfolio. So with that, I will pass it on over to Tia, our lead career coach.
Hi, everybody. I am Tia. I'm the event co-host today. I'm the lead career coach here at Circuit Stream. It is such a pleasure to welcome you to our product management pitch day. And my role here mainly is to support the students in building job-ready portfolios, mastering the job search process, and showing up with clarity and confidence when connecting with employers. I also do work closely with our internal team to ensure that students are showcasing their very strongest selves, and our events highlight the incredible talent in our community.
Perfect. Thank you, Tia. A quick overview of the order of events. After some kickoff items, I will call up our guest speakers who will give a quick brief introduction about themselves, and then we will introduce the capstone project and jump into the pitches, which will be about 7 minutes long, hopefully. After each individual pitch, there will be about 6 minutes of Q&A with our guest speakers. And then lastly, once all the pitches are done, I will welcome our instructor who's been with this cohort for the past 21 weeks to just kind of give a little bit of an introduction about himself and open up for a general Q&A at the end. And this will be an opportunity to revisit some things, give clarity, and things of that nature. With some background on us, so Circuit Stream began in 2015 through a network of developers, designers, and creators, and we are now a leading provider of technology, education in game development, game design, product management, and software development. And our primary goal is to provide future-proof and industry-relevant skills to folks looking to pivot into tech, upskill, or learn about technical aspects of the industries. Our secondary goal is to prepare our bootcamp graduates for jobs in their preferred industry through events, one-on-one connections, and engaging with our network of employer partners. Since our start in 2015, we have now educated over 50,000 learners globally, and we are constantly updating our curriculum to stay ahead of the curve. Circuit Stream is also an educational partner with several top universities across North America to provide technology education for both youth and adult learners. It's not changing for us. There we go. In parallel to the technical programs that CircuitStream offers, we also provide an optional career program to our bootcamp students, and this program provides ongoing support for students who are keen on starting their job hunt right after graduation to make sure they are prepared to find a new job. And with that, we have 3 of our amazing students here presenting today who are part of the job seeking program and are looking for their next opportunity. Next slide. For the businesses in attendance today, we are always looking to expand our network of employers who we reach out to for talent opportunities and more. And if you're interested in joining our talent network, please reach out to me, and I would be more than happy to talk to you guys further about that. With that, like I mentioned, our guest speaker, before I get into our guest speakers, I want to introduce our product management instructor who's been with this cohort for the past 21 weeks. He is not here currently, but he'll be able to join us at the very end and just give a brief introduction about himself. But his name is Chris, and he will join us shortly. Perfect. With that, we are so fortunate to have some really incredible industry partners joining us today, and I can't wait for you to hear from them. And they are leaders in product management who bring in a wealth of experience and insight from some of the most innovative companies out there. So with that, I'd like to invite each of our guest speakers to the stage to introduce themselves. And as you come up, could you guys please share a little bit about where you work, what you do, and the journey that brought you here, and anything else that you would like our presenters to know about as a step into their pitches today. So with that, could I please have Jake join our stage? Thank you.
Hey there. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. This is actually the second time I've got to participate in a pitch day with CircuitStream, so very cool to be coming back here. So a little bit about myself. So today I work with a company based out of Alberta called ATB Financial. We are a provincially owned financial institution. So I've been working with ATB for about 9 years, 6 of which have been really heavily focused in product management. And even I would say the roles I had before then were all really good like foundations for my time here in product management. So that included business analysis as well as UX research. And I've been very fortunate to have quite an interesting career with ATB, including being what I would call, I guess, like a founding member of a digital challenger bank. Spent almost 5 years with ATB doing that. So got the experience of building something from the ground up, growing it from 6 people to over about 120, I believe, at our peaks. That was a very interesting experience. Also had opportunities to work in digital sales, leading the product team there, work in open banking. Also did a brief stint on some product work in like renewable energy and carbon markets. So that was a really interesting opportunity in our ag space. So just really have been grateful to have had the breadth of that experience in that variety. And so really been kind of an interesting journey that I've had at ATB. And my journey to get here, it's been kind of I wouldn't say linear for me at all, but it's been a very interesting journey that I kind of break into a few different phases. But ultimately, when I started my career, I was doing project coordination, I was doing business analysis, and there were always things that I enjoyed about that work, and solving problems, introducing technology, getting closer to the business, getting closer to the customer. But it wasn't until I came to ATB that I actually found this concept of product management and been able to kind of grow my skills here, been able to get more involved in the local communities here. I'm in Calgary, but in Calgary and Alberta and kind of in surrounding areas. So yeah, just excited to be here today. Really interested in hearing what's going to be shared by the group, and happy to provide any sort of feedback and ideas that I can as the day progresses.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jake. It was really amazing, and we're so excited to host you again, and it was really great as well. So we're so excited to see what kind of feedback you have for our students today. With that, could I please have Sorry, our thing disconnected. Sorry. With that, could I please have Pan join the stage and introduce herself just a little bit and share her journey as well?
Hello, guys. Hi. So psyched to be here. So, hi, I'm Pan. I'm an AI product strategist, and I'm a mentor for startups and product managers, helping teams turn ideas into basically enterprise-ready systems. Over the past few years, I've built multiple 0 to 1 AI products that have been widely adopted, scaled to millions of users, and delivered a measurable impact. So during this time, I've had the opportunity to work on building complete like product life AI and product life cycles from conception to prototyping, optimizing, testing, and deploying, and measuring its overall value. So I've been part of multiple global AI first initiatives and product innovations across domains from finance to retail and working with the biggest banks to the YC startups. Now at Mentor Cruise, I advise startups and scale ups on how to use AI strategically and not just to automate, but to actually accelerate growth and decision making. So I also mentor product managers on becoming AI first leaders, integrating, it's so important these days to integrate intelligent workflows into how basically, you think, you build and organize your day-to-day work. So yeah, I'm so thrilled to be here today with Circuit Stream, and I'm really here to celebrate the next generation of product leaders and excited to see your visions to life.
That's amazing. And with your background, it's going to be so interesting to see the feedback that you provide because you come from such a well-versed background. So we're very excited to have you here as well. With that, I'd like to now jump into just to give you guys a little bit more information about Pitch Day, kind of what we do here. So with that, our product management program is a 21-week bootcamp, both online and project-based. It has about 5 hours of live classes per week, 2.5 hours of technical programs, and then the biweekly career labs, and then 10 hours of independent study that students have to make time for. And there are weekly assignments, in-class challenges, portfolio projects, and students complete a capstone project at the end of the bootcamp, which they are presenting today. This bootcamp is designed for those interested in learning the essential practices of product management, from strategic planning, feature development, all the way to agile execution. The program's comprehensive curriculum is designed to provide a full spectrum understanding of the product lifecycle, ensuring that the students are adept at guiding products from their initial concept all the way to market production. And this product management bootcamp is a great career opportunity with a lot of potential, which is why we have collaborated with the U of T School of Continuing Education to offer this hands-on 21-week bootcamp that will take the students all the way from a beginner to launching a career in product. Now for the course outcomes, our bootcamp graduates emerge with comprehensive skills that prepare them for success through in-depth modules like product management foundations, where students gain a solid understanding of their roles and responsibilities, how they navigate product development stages, as well as how they use the data to inform and make strategic decisions. Graduates are also educated on market insights, product strategy, feature ideation, development, agile execution, team dynamics, product positioning, growth, data mastery, as well as decision-making skills. For our capstone projects, as part of their project, students were asked to bring everything that they've learned in this program and put it all together. And this goal was to develop a mid to high fidelity prototype of a product using a tool of their choice, and then take it a step further with testing it with potential users. There were 3 main parts of this project. So the first one being prototype quality, which was making sure that the quality and the product was strong in terms of user experience as well as functionality. Second part was the PRD, the product requirement document. So a professional structured document that included an overview of the product, insight, market analysis, roadmap, requirements, and go-to market strategies. And lastly, the execution, which is just showing them how the team would align on goals, scopes, deliverables, risks, if there are any, how to manage them, as well as creating a clear communication plan to mitigate that as much as possible. And altogether, all these requirements push the students to not only think like designers, but also like true product managers, where they balance the vision, the strategy, as well as the execution. All righty. Okay, now that we've gotten some stuff out of the way, let's begin the pitches. Just a reminder again to please share your comments in the chat. And if you have a specific question for any of our presenters, please post it in the questions area next to the chat. And then with that, we will begin each of the presentations in a few minutes. So with that, I would like to first off call Jerry Chow, who has created Figma Marketplace. And I'm so excited for you guys to see his product. Jerry, if you could.
Yep.
Perfect. Is your camera turned on?
Yep, should be turned on.
Maybe we just give a second or two.
Can someone else go first while I'm figuring out this technical issues? Or just give me like 1 minute.
Sure.
I'll try to log in with my phone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, we're just going to give Jerry a few seconds here to get his technology figured out. All right. Olu, is it okay if we can go ahead with your presentation while we wait for Jerry to get his camera sorted? We don't want to wait too long and make our guest speakers and everyone in the audience wait. Perfect. Okay, with that, Olu, could you please join the stage? Perfect. All right. Okay, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. Can everybody hear and see me clearly? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oluwaseun Zoe Balogun. I'm an aspiring product manager, a customer relationship specialist across finance and administrative operations. Before stepping into product management, I've spent about 5 years in customer service and finance roles that gave me a first-hand insight into how people interact with money and, more importantly, how challenging saving can be. There were countless times when customers shared the same struggle. I want to save, but it is hard to stay consistent. And that line stuck with me. And as someone who also struggled with saving myself, I wanted to find a way to make saving something people want to do and not what they have to do. And that is what inspired Droplet. Now let's start with the problem. Why is saving difficult? Nearly half of young Canadians today live from paycheck to paycheck. And while most financial apps help track spending, they don't actually motivate saving. For Gen Z and young professionals, savings feels like a delayed discipline with no instant reward. Droplet was born to change that, to make saving not just a financial habit, but an emotionally engaging experience. Droplet. Droplet is a gamified saving app built for people who genuinely want to save but struggle to stay consistent. Droplet was designed to transform saving from a task into a lifestyle. The goal is simple: to make saving as exciting and emotionally satisfying as shopping online. And unlike traditional banking tools, Droplet reward users for saving and not spending. Each time users hit a milestone, they are encouraged by progress tricks, visual growth tracking, and real-life rewards like retail discounts, coffee vouchers, movie ticket, and the likes, making Droplet the Duolingo of savings. And one of Droplet's biggest advantage is the instant gratification. The moment they reach a saving milestone, they can reward or redeem their rewards immediately, keeping them emotionally engaged and motivated to save more. But then, who are we building for? Our target audience are digital native, motivation driven, and reward responsive users, primarily Gen Zs and younger millennials aged 18 to 32. They are students, freelancers, and young professionals who crave transparency, convenience, and a sense of accomplishment. They are also financially aware, but they need a system that matches their fast-paced, mobile-first, and something that feels fun, social, and rewarding. And that is exactly what Droplet delivers. But then, how do we stand out in the current landscape? Traditional banks like RBC, TD have the trust and infrastructure, but they lack the emotional engagement to keep young users interested. Droplet bridges that gap by making saving fun, interactive, and rewarding. Although, like any new product, we need to earn that same level of trust over time. And apps like Mint or YNAB are great for budgeting awareness. They inform, but they don't inspire. And while fintechs like Coho and Wealthsimple offer automation and cashback, but their rewards still depends on spending and not saving. And Droplet flips that model. But then our go-to strategy, it focuses on three things: acquisition, activation, and retention. For acquisition, we will launch on TikTok and Instagram Reels, tapping into financial trends like hashtag money talks and hashtag saving challenge, where Gen Zs already engage with millions of views. And for activation, users unlock their first spec, e.g., a free coffee or a movie ticket, the moment they complete their first saving goal, keeping the excitement immediate. And for retention, we will use tricks, badges, and progress tracking to keep users motivated and consistent by combining social media virality, instant rewards, and gamified engagement. Droplet will grow its early user base organically. And our launch, it starts small. A beta release focused on core features like goal setup, progress tracking, and reward unlocking. We will release this to a control group of early adopters to observe real user behavior. Then we will gather feedback through in-app surveys, social media polls to see which rewards excite users most and where dropouts often happen. Using that data, we will iterate fast by improving onboarding and expanding the most loved rewards. Finally, we fuel growth through community challenges like hashtag Save With Me, where users save together, share wins, and become Droplet's biggest advocates.
This is the onboarding screen. Users create an account using their email address, phone number, password, and click continue to see the goal selection. They can select any of the savings goal that we have available or set their own custom goal. When they select a goal, this takes them to the dashboard. The dashboard shows how far they've saved, what they are saving for, their daily tricks, the total they've saved with Droplet, and their active savings goal. To view the reward, we click on the reward button, and then users can see the unlocked rewards, how much more they need to save to unlock more reward, and of course, the redeemable rewards. After we have redeemed the reward, we can click on continue saving to go back to the dashboard.
Sorry. Yes. So what is ahead for Droplet? For Droplet, we have in the next phase, Droplet becomes an AI powered to save ecosystem. Our AI will analyze user behavior to give smart saving recommendation and predict spending habits, which will help users save effortlessly. It will personalize rewards too, suggesting what motivates each user the most. And on the financial side, we will integrate with banks and payroll system, so saving feels automatic and stress-free. And as we scale, AI will create exclusive reward offers, making Droplet not just a saving tool, but a personal financial companion. So that's all about Droplet. Thank you so much for listening to me today. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and also scan the QR code to view my product portfolio. Thank you.
Amazing job. That was so good. I'm so proud of you. That was so amazing. And just for everyone in the audience, Oluwaseun worked so hard to get this done with all the dry runs and everything like that. So just a big round of applause for getting a project out. And Tia and I were talking on the side, and I'm like, I need this product more than anyone with my spending habits. So I will be your first beta audience target member. But with that, I will let Tia introduce our guest speakers onto the stage.
Yeah, guest speakers, if you can come and join the stage, and yeah, feel free to give feedback and ask questions. And we have lots of time today, so definitely go for it.
I can go first. So first of all, really interesting topic, really interesting product that you're pursuing here. I love it because when I was working in the digital bank a few years ago, this is one of the key problems we were trying to solve was how do we help Canadians, especially younger Canadians, develop savings habits. And it's a tricky one. So it's really cool to see how you've gone about tackling it. So just want to give you that feedback. I think you've certainly found a meaningful problem to solve. And I think how the product takes shape and how you're able to get that adoption and really keep people engaged and participating in that kind of habit forming behavior of saving will be interesting to see how that evolves. But nonetheless, like a really cool idea. Couple questions I had for you though. So you talked about the rewards-based mechanism, which I think is a good idea because that does seem to be fairly common among other financial products today, credit cards, I guess even in some cases debit cards. I think of like Scotiabank Scene. But I was kind of curious if you had thoughts around how you'd go about establishing those partnerships, what you think might be the reason or the value for these companies choosing to partner and provide these benefits or these rewards to your participants.
You're just muted there, Shun.
Yes. Yes, can you hear me clearly now?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So as I was saying, yes, I thought about it. At first, I know that it might be pretty difficult to get this partnership because Droplet being a new product in the market. But then I believe that a lot of brands want to be associated with community giving. Let me start with that. So this is it. So there's this space of the advantage for the brand. So for example, if a user saves a particular amount of money, and then we are getting like a Walmart cashback, for example, like a Walmart discount. So if I have a $10 discount with Walmart and I have something to purchase, I will want to use my discount. Canadians don't let any money go, which is why I thought about the fact that, yes, so it's like an increase in sales for the business. So I'm pitching them, okay, for Droplet users, definitely they have to patronize you to get to redeem their rewards. The rewards isn't just going for free. So in as much as it might be difficult, I believe that it's something that can be done in the long run because it's them. And also they want to be associated with brand loyalty, be associated with giving back to the community.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I think there's just going to share some of my own thoughts and ideas here. Like I think there's a really interesting opportunity here, and I would sort of recommend or encourage looking for partnership opportunities with like financial institutions that can facilitate the actual sort of the bank account part on the back end. Like one that comes to mind for me is a company called Neo Financial. They were a Calgary startup. Now I'm sure they're Canada wide. Like they naturally have a large sort of rewards presence based on their history with Skip the Dishes, and they have quite a merchant presence. But I think what's interesting is I haven't seen this type of product launch from them yet. So maybe an opportunity for you to bring forward something like this to them and actually embed it into their platform. So, Wealthsimple is probably a more well-known one. I'm not sure this is quite on brand for them, but I think you have a great idea. I think it's just really kind of how do you make those right partnerships, whether it's the reward partnerships or the financial institution partnerships, so that you can actually help facilitate that I was going to say, sorry, like that savings. Last thing I want to share here too, actually, is so in the most recent federal budget on November 4th, the government talked about the release of open banking or consumer-driven banking, which is going to force banks, many large banks in Canada, to make it easier to access customer information. So I think this is actually that type of advancement, which is expected to be live in 2026, could be a major opportunity for you, where it'd be much easier now for customers to be able to share their data with an app like this. So you could tap into the AI and help sort of identify opportunities and sort of help them form habits, and even if possible, facilitate some of that money movement by having access to payment data. So I'm just speaking at a very kind of general level, but I think there's an interesting advancements happening in the Canadian market, and I think you have a really interesting opportunity here. It's just sort of really kind of finding those right partnerships on both sides to make this a reality.
All right. Thank you so much for the feedback, Jake.
Hey, Olu. I think thank you so much, Jake. I got to learn a lot from your feedback, and especially on the Canadian landscape. So, Olu, great presentation. I love the words that you chose for your presentation. Emotionally satisfying, habit for the Gen Z. You had your ideal persona very sorted out in detail. And one thing that I thought, that I heard a lot of these terms initially through I think for the first 10 minutes about fun and gamifying and interactive. But I would have I was still wondering what is it, what is inside, what gamifying is happening, how is it being interactive. I had to wait to see the demo very long. I think after your even go to market strategy, and so I thought that we could have I think just to help keeping people engaged, they would have liked to know exactly what you're doing differently a bit earlier in your pitch. That would have been great to see. Also one thing I was curious about this product is that currently, as we have so many of these reward apps and reward cards. I have my Scene Plus, I have there are so many Neo, and then there's one for the Shoppers app. So how do you imagine that this is different from them? And what would for me as the end consumer or a Gen Z, say, why would I choose your app over those?
Okay, so most of this happen in the market. Like I mentioned, a lot of their rewards are actually tied to spending and not saving. Feels that are tied to saving is just mostly cashbacks. In fact, even the cashback is tied to spending. Feels that are tied to saving is more of, okay, you save and then you get a reward over time. So like I said, my target audience are really Gen Zs. Gen Zs do a lot of spending, but I'm sure that there are also a lot of them who want to build a saving habit over time. So like I said, I mentioned specifically that my target audience are those that genuinely want to save and struggle to stay consistent, not just people that are after the rewards. So if you were struggling to save, I feel like Droplets would be like a stepping stone to start before, because it's even based on the dream I have about Droplets, it takes even as you can save even as low as $2, $3. It really don't need to have so much big money. Like I said, that's why it's from age 18 to 32. And I believe that it's not just restricted, even 16 years old, even from their by like little pocket money, you can as well cultivate a habit of saving. So even as much as there are a lot of apps that offers rewards, Droplet is for savers that are struggling to save. You want to start small before you grow into the big investment space. So that is really what Droplet is for.
Okay, okay, amazing. So this is like, it's almost like a piggy bank, right? Wherein, you put in, like, as kids we used to do that, but when, like, as teenagers we can start putting in whatever savings we have and have that as a recurring amount from our main accounts. So is it connected to the different bank accounts, or?
I didn't get you. Please, can you come again?
Yeah. So I'm curious, like, do you connect it to different bank accounts that a person would have?
Yes, so it can be connected to different bank accounts. But to start with, so looking at how we are going to build trust, my main suggestion would be that I thought about would be to partner with DCIC and the FDIC insured bank for underlining deposit, to use their bank level of inscription, and also there will be full transparency on dashboard. So it's not just like it's not just a piggy bank where you can just drop money. It's much more than that. So when I was working on Droplet, I think I was speaking to one of my friend about the idea, and then he was asking that, okay, let's assume that I save with Droplet. How exactly am I sure that my money is safe with you? Which is one of the biggest risks. That, which was one of my biggest risk assumption. And I told the same answer I just gave my friend was that, okay, I know that Droplet is a small app. I don't think that if I truly wanted to launch Droplet, I won't be launching Droplet on my own. I'm going to pitch Droplet to bigger banks like CIBC, to TD, RBC, or fintech institutions that are already growing, where they already have the security base and all the infrastructure, and then they can just take up Droplet. So I guess that's the same thing I would just put in this space too. So we'll be partnering with other securely financed institutions.
Yeah, I think you're right on point with that. I think the fastest way to grow and really scale today as a startup is really finding the right partners and tapping into the right partners and just running with them. So, but also like one thing that, like, as I've seen, like, a lot of enterprise takeovers, these the only reason they look to really partner with you is you have like some functionality which is really niche or you're really good at. So is there any kind of, say, AI feature that you are thinking of integrating which is different than theirs and which they cannot include it in a day or two, or what, like, or is it some gamifying feature? Like, what would that be?
Okay, so talking about AI, we plan to integrate some AI feature whereby AI analyze savings and spending patterns and help users to set a realistic goal. So based on the AI will be like based on your spending for this month or for this period of time, you can actually save this amount of money. And also AI will actually help you predict and also like send you a reminder after, so the gamify feature really comes in where you get daily reminders, just like Duolingo would say, have you taken your class today? Just something like that, something really, really interacting and inspiring that you really actually want to visit the app and be like, oh yeah, I've missed my saving today, or I have a goal to meet, I have a goal that I am yet to eat. And then there's something like a reminder, save $50 more to get the cup of coffee. So that is where the gamify feature come in. And AI, of course, will be helping them to actually get saving tips or spending tips, just the same way.
I think Oluwaseun might just be frozen.
Other budgeting tools like core budgeting tips too. I'm sorry, can you still hear me? Because my network here is cutting.
It's okay now. You just cut out a little bit in that last portion there.
Okay.
Perfect. That's okay. No worries. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you
for
so much. Yeah,
sharing
I got
your
that.
presentation, and thank you, Pan and Jake, for providing some insights. And it was really nice to hear Jake talk about it from a financial perspective, because you work at a bank, so it's really good to hear that from our guest speakers. With that, we will revert back to Jerry and have him join the stage. So I'll get all of you guys to leave the stage so we can just have Jerry with us. Perfect. All
Okay,
right.
thank you, Manor.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Can everyone hear me okay? I guess
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Well, online meeting is always full of surprises. So thank you for everyone's patience while we're down for a little while. So hi, everyone. My name is Jerry. I'm excited to present you to all of my capstone project, Figma Marketplace. So a little about myself. I come from a media and video production background. So my love for visual storytelling is what got me into the industry in the first place. My philosophy is very simple. I always want to make something memorable, something that sticks with people. So outside of work, I spend a fair amount of time playing and watching sports because through this hobby, it has taught me discipline, it has taught me adapting to under different pressures, and then to embrace the process no matter what the outcome is. So all those experiences inspire me to create a video-driven Figma marketplace that makes plugin discovery faster, more visuals, and simply more enjoyable. So when I looked closer at the current user experience, I realized something. Designers, they're not short of getting good quality plugins. They're short on clarity, speed, and trust. So while the current Figma community library is full of useful tools, it can feel fragmented and time-consuming. So users end up second-guessing the plugin quality, which slows down their creative flow. So I asked myself, what if we can eliminate all those workflow frictions? And there's a plug, also going back to my sports hobby, is what if we can make plugin discovery feel effortless, visual, enjoyable, intuitive, just like browsing videos on YouTube. So rather than looking at static images and text, user can experience plugin through short videos, whether it's a demo from the creators themselves or reviews from YouTube. So why launch this right now? Because video has become the universal language of trust. So think about last time you were shopping for gadgets, shoes, clothing, what do we do? Do we just read a pile of text to know the feature and functions? No, we watch them, we watch the video reviews. We trust what we see in actions. So this same shift is kind of happening in design as well. People want to see how something really works in real time before they commit to it. And for creators, the Figma Marketplace provides visibility, engagement, and data to help them grow, which is critical as product development is moving faster than ever. So introducing Figma Marketplace, the future of design ecosystem. It is intelligent, it is visual, and rewarding for both the creators and the users. So before we jump into the demo, I want to briefly walk you through the 4 key features of the marketplace. So first of all, the platform provides a video-first interface. User can instantly see plugins in action through short, engaging video previews that brings each tool to life. Second is the creator video upload portal. Plugin creators can easily upload demo videos to showcase their tools and connect directly with users. Third is the robust search and filtering. So a powerful search system helps designers quickly find exactly what they need without endless scrolling. And finally, is the creator dashboard. It is an interactive dashboard that gives creators real-time insight into engagement, views, and user trends. So in summary, the marketplace serves 2 vital groups. It's the plugin user and the creators. And to celebrate and support our creators, we'll offer top contribution premium Figma features and special placement in the marketplace. These perks encourage them to keep contributing, and then we're able to keep them within the ecosystem for them to provide the best content and the amazing plugins for our ecosystem. Okay, so right now, so far, we talked about a lot about goals and strategies. Let's forget all those for a second, and let's focus on something more emotional, which is that sense of creative inner peace we all crave for. So for every designer, product builders, you guys can probably relate to this. When the right tool just fits, it just allows you to focus on the amazing things you want to create. And for creators, imagine if your work is getting spotlight it deserves, more exposure, better insights, and meaningful connections with the people you're creating for. So that's really the end goal for the Figma Marketplace, is to bring all these experiences in life. Now that we talked about through this concept, let's see how it works.
Welcome to the new Figma plugin marketplace. The homepage immediately features personalized, recommended plugin videos. Find specific tools fast by browsing categories or using the search and filter options at the top. Selecting a plugin takes you directly to the video demo. This instant visual proof, paired with detailed descriptions and community reviews, gives you full confidence in your install, no guesswork required. The real power lies in the Creator Studio portal. This hub displays your uploaded plugins, real-time stats, and performance metrics. You can instantly edit listings, replace videos, and use the preview mode to ensure everything looks perfect. Ready to launch a new tool? Click Add New Plugin, upload your necessary files and video demo, and submit your finished product for review.
Okay. So how do we measure our success? We're aiming for a 70% video preview engagement rate. What does that mean? Meaning like 7 out of 10 users who land on the plugin page, meaning 7 out of 10 users who land on the plugin page will actually watch the video. We project over 2,000 plugin installs per creator after launch. 60% of the current Figma user will be active and transitioning smoothly from the current Figma community to the new marketplace. And the 5 times higher view to install conversion rate compared to the current Figma static listings. These results highlight growing confidence, better flow, and healthier engagement across the marketplace. Our go-to-market strategy unfolds over 3 phases. Phase 1 focuses more on the social media campaign with short, engaging, like bite-sized content that highlight the marketplace feature. Phase 2 includes targeted mobile apps and also a sneak peek event for industry leaders to experience it firsthand. And finally, phase 3, we're going to organize an in-person user testing event. So once the marketplace is fully functioning, like we want to ensure creators and users can collaborate face-to-face. Our roadmap is simple, as we're not rushing to launch the marketplace. We want to make sure the marketplace is right before we go big, which set us up easily for easy growth and new updates afterwards. So to wrap things up, I want to share a few key takeaways, both about the product and some personal takeaways. So the key to a successful marketplace is to help people, users gaining trust on the plugins, making the plugins simple for them to find and effortless for them to start using. When there's success, we also need to look at challenges that we might face. So the foreseeable challenge I can kind of anticipate is to keep the creators motivated and continuously provide them with relevant data and feedback that actually help them grow. And looking ahead, we're excited to use like the fast-changing AI tools to personalize the experience for every user and build a stronger community around it. On the personal side, this is my first time doing like a product launching projects from beginning start to finish. So it is definitely a crash course to see like how the product world works. And then it is not always easy to like turning like rough ideas into reality. Like during the drafting of the PRD, shaping the value propositions, in the beginning, it does feel a little bit daunting, but the payoff and the result makes it worthwhile. This experience further reconfirms my belief of creating a product that is frictionless, functional, and fun. And lastly, the one challenge I'm still exploring is data. So specifically about like how teams collect collectible, like reliable pre-launch insights and set clear KPIs and OKRs for the team. I'll be interested to see like how the industry tackled it during our Q&A section. Thank you again for tuning in and for the opportunity to share what I've worked on during the bootcamp. So I'm currently seeking for opportunities to work as a PM, associate PM, and IC product roles, as well as any freelance or project-based opportunities. I will welcome any follow-up discussions. You can find my contact info on the next slide. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Jerry. That was so amazing. And like I mentioned in the comments, I love using Figma Make. So this is going to be such a nice integration with the AI and the marketplace and everything like that. So I can see a lot of UI UX developers and our team using this feature. So Thank you so much for sharing that. With that, could I please have our guest speakers please join the stage? You did really good, Jerry. I'm really proud of you.
Appreciate that.
Perfect.
Hey, Pan, do you want to go first this time?
Yes, sure. So Jerry, amazing presentation. I think I really admire your depth of understanding of your ideal client persona, like their psychology, their thinking, their problems, and you like being able to even talk in their language. I think that will really help you with your launch. Since you plan to launch with the social media snippets, I think that is really cool. How I see this is as like so there are many agent marketplaces these days, but this is like a specific marketplace for the video industry or for the editing industry. So that would be really cool. I think you should definitely, like the video you created, you should definitely publish on your LinkedIn and tag all the Figma creators, all the Figma owners, and they will definitely be happy to have a chat with you, reach out to them. And I think like that is a great plan to move forward. I think that would be a very good add-on to Figma, and just for the integration for them. From the like I just see one challenge here is that so as for the latest developments, that OpenAI has launched their workspace. So basically a new way that we predict new apps would be discovered, or whatever you want to use would be in your chat GPT itself. So you people search that I want to do this, and then chat GPT suggests an app. So something like you might want to think on the aspects of today, like AI SEO is the new term. So being able to find things on using AI. So how you want to integrate that? Of course, you would be integrating AI into this, but a lot of apps would rather, so instead of having or attracting your own customer base over here in this marketplace, like I'd suggest like you see how you can integrate this into an OpenAI ecosystem, where if people is like, okay, I am trying to find the best apps for these purposes, they should show your website where this is the Figma marketplace. This is specializes in editing apps and editing softwares, and you should take a look over here. And that could be like one of the ways to kind of incorporate the latest developments in AI. But I wish you all the best. This is really cool.
Thank you for your feedback. So the new trend right now is called AI SEO, meaning like instead of using Google search, it's like kind of replacing Google search.
Yeah. People just type on chat GPT, right? Like I want to do this, what are the best tools? And I say I want to like remove a person from a photograph, change my dress color, I want to wear formals, so Google will suggest, oh, Nano Banana is the best, this is the best.
Oh, okay.
So you want to like, so basically how you become recognizable and findable in the top searches of AI apps. If somebody wants to use like Chat GPT or whether Claude, or there's Anthropic. So on all these platforms, how AI will rank you as the topmost, you might want to research more on that.
Okay. That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah. That was great hearing Pan's perspective. I think that's really good feedback about how do you kind of get yourself to top of search results there. I think there's probably a fair amount of sort of plug-in opportunities there. So it's a really good feedback there. Jerry, first of all, I want to say great job sort of pivoting there. Your tech wasn't working. You kind of had to go second, and I know they can maybe throw your prep a little bit, or your mental game. So I think you did a great job of still showing up really well in spite of that sort of unexpected event there. So questions I have for you. So this is actually a space that I'm not super familiar with. I have worked closely with sort of UX designers using like tools like Figma, but I'd be kind of curious how you came across this problem. Is this something that you've experienced yourself? Maybe you uncovered this through user research. I'm just kind of curious about the sort of origins of this opportunity.
Yep. So there are two sides to this. Like, so during the bootcamp, we have to use Figma and look for plugins. And then the result that I got was there's this like little search bar, and then there's nothing else. to see like what I'm looking at. I'm like, huh? And then when I dive deeper, there's Figma community that's like more comprehensive. It's like similar to what we see on the Google App Store or what we see from the Microsoft Store. But it's like, I was thinking, how come let's take it to the next level? Because it's like right now people are hooked on to an app through just doom scrolling. So I'm just want to capture this doom scrolling mentality into productivity.
That's a cool idea. I like that, the convergence of doom scrolling, but actually in a productive way.
Yeah,
Cool.
like you're wasting time, might as well spend your time on something that's worthwhile that can like enhance release your creative juices or like inspire you.
That's very interesting.
And also when also like a lot of my concept comes from like my interaction with like apps that I use on a daily basis. So there's this travel app called Trip.com. Like on a conventional travel app, you don't see videos, suggestions of like travel itineraries. So Trip.com took it to the next level by including like creators content on their platform. So I'm just thinking, why maybe it is a cool idea to create a platform that can like benefit like everybody.
Yeah, it's a really interesting idea. Do you know if there's any process you'd have to go through to get sort of, let's say, like approved, for lack of a better word, by Figma to be able to offer this type of platform with these integrations, or is it already kind of a well-established process?
Can you rephrase that question again?
Yeah. So you're building a plugin in for Figma, and you kind of see this opportunity to make the process better. I was just curious if there's already kind of a well-known process to be able to make plugins that can be made available for Figma, or if you'd actually have to get approval from Figma, for example, like if there's some barriers you might have to once you build it, is there still things you'd have to do to get it, like make it available and have it launch and so forth?
Yeah, that's the area I didn't research on, but then from my like preliminary research, it's like you have to get it approved by like a third party before you're able to launch it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
To account for. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea?
That way, like helps like ensure that what's being published is in good quality.
Makes sense. Yeah. There's some sort of standards you have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking that as well. Yeah. I'm curious if you thought about how you might generate revenue through this product to kind of help yourself have revenue to continue building, continue expanding, but just kind of what opportunities you have to kind of generate some cash flow through.
So the initial phase is like we're not trying to monetize by like, having content on the platform. It's more about just like getting people stick with Figma, because it's like Canva, they're always renovating. Adobe is like stepping up the game. So this is a way to bring the current Figma users not jumping ships on the other platforms. But then ideally, like we want to reward like creators too. So the main revenue driver is just like we want to attract as many users as possible, so the subscription number goes up.
Gotcha. Okay, so
that's my thought on like monetizing from this is like increasing the number of user base, like converting users from like Adobe or Canva into Figma.
Interesting. Okay, so you're looking at like almost like a partnership play with Figma, where you could help them potentially acquire new customers or get higher, let's call it engagement or retention among existing customers. Okay, that's interesting.
Because I know that there's a level of like this satisfaction with Adobe. So if there's something that can like outcompete it, that is like that's perfect. People will jump ship like immediately. Like also you asked a very good question. A lot of these come from personal experiences, yes, because like for video editing, I've used Adobe Premiere for like over 10 years.
Right. Okay.
And then there's Blackmagic. The company Blackmagic just came on board and then overtook a lot of customers from that sector.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So you're kind of picturing a similar
transition for people to generate revenue for the company.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's well thought through. I like that you've kind of experienced this problem firsthand. Gives you kind of that additional perspective and almost maybe some more kind of motivation or like this is a problem
Yeah.
I want to solve for myself as much as others. It's really interesting. Yeah, and I think you recognizing that this is it's called a partnership opportunity with Figma is an important one, and really kind of how you can go about connecting with them and establishing that partnership would be important to get to see this move beyond the initial stages. But sounds like it's a worthwhile problem to solve.
Yeah, so if you go on Figma, you can go on Figma communities to see how the current template looks. This is more like building on what's already working and then optimize it and make it even more user-friendly for the users.
Oh, great. Very cool.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Thank you guys so much for all your feedback. And it was such a lovely product, Jerry. I can't believe you thought of something like that. So with that, thank you so much. And we will move on to our last student, Abbas. And I'm so excited for you all to see his presentation. He has worked really incredibly hard. So with that, could I please have Abbas join the stage for us? Amazing. Okay, good
Can you hear
luck.
me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Abbas, and I'm most excited to present my product today. It's called Commute Ed. To introduce myself, I'm a scrappy AI innovator and a resourceful problem solver with a deep background in data analytics. I like to build products that connect communities and are sustainable. With that, I like to begin by sharing a personal experience. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, yeah, thanks. So I'd like to share a personal experience. My commute journey from my home to downtown office in Toronto takes about 40 minutes. That adds up to 25 hours a month. And this time is mostly spent, like listening to music or scrolling on social media or simply zoning out. And this is just not like my story. I'm pretty sure many of us in this room would have felt the same experience. So that led me to a very important question. Next slide. Yeah, that led me to a very important question. What would you rather be doing with your time? And the answer that came up the most was that there was a strong desire for people to upskill or devote their time towards career growth. But the reality is that commuting is a very poor time for focus. So I started to validate this with the help of conducting some commuter surveys of 60 plus people who commute to downtown. And I found out that 1 in 6 experienced network issues with the learning apps that caused either the app to crash or resulted in sync issues. And about 20 to 25% also reported lack of focus and distractions as key hurdles to learning. So is there a solution? The solution is a mobile app called Commute Ed. This app allows you to configure your commute journey and transform that into a transformative learning experience by splitting long-form courses using AI into bite-sized commute-friendly lessons. It also allows for offline download so that you can also learn when there is no connection. But is this a viable product, right? So I did a market validation exercise, and there's a huge market for this kind of a product. There's about a $5 billion underserved market, despite 70% of people preferring audio-first content. And the completion rate for microlearning courses is also higher than other traditional formats. And from the people I surveyed, 80% of commuters usually wasted like 30 minutes or so due to poor connectivity or loss of focus during their commute time. So how big is this market? So we are talking about a $25 billion global market opportunity. And this is just in the developed countries. But our target focus will be downtown Toronto, where about 250,000 white-collar professionals commute each and every single day. And that amounts to about $28.5 million opportunity for us. So what does this product actually look like? Let me give you a peek. Yeah.
Welcome to Commute Ed. This is the first screen you encounter when you log in. Let's go ahead and sign in as a learner on this platform. Once logged in, you're greeted with the landing page. Here, as a learner, you can view My Courses, track your progress with KPIs for rank, badges, and day streaks. As you scroll down, you'll see options for your current trial version, the option to browse courses, or add to commute. Let's take a moment to browse a new course. By clicking on Browse, you are directed to the Search Courses section. This area allows you to explore a wide variety of courses, sorted by categories and tags. Before enrolling, you can view detailed descriptions of courses by selecting View Details. Here, you'll be able to review information about the instructor, check if the course is certified, and learn about the skills you'll gain and the career paths available. By clicking on Connect to Peers, you can enter the Peer Connections area, where you can chat with existing connections or find new ones based on industry, location, and role, or even join a group. You can preview groups and then apply to join one. Now, let's explore mentorship. In My Mentors, you have the option to message them directly or schedule a coffee chat. To become a mentor yourself, you will need to complete an application process. Now, let's explore the instructor pathway from the login screen. Log in using your instructor credentials. This will take you to the login page, where you can view your pre-configured courses. By clicking on a course, you are taken to the course preview page, which includes details such as course modules and the amount required. As you scroll down, you can access learner analytics, engagements, and sessions completed. Instructors also have the option to promote the course, with two options available. Instructors can choose to promote a single course or opt for an all-course plan, which is billed annually. Thank you for watching.
Now that you know what the product looks like, who is this product actually built for? So we have two major audiences. First are time-savvy professionals who use transit on a daily basis and face issues with finding flexible learning options during their commute time. And second are expert educators who want a wider reach, more better revenue options, and are struggling with maintaining learner engagement on their courses and platforms. So, for these users, what is the value proposition? It's clear. For commuters, they can reclaim their wasted time during commute and also get the opportunity to increase their professional network, which is quite valuable. As well as for instructors, it's a 80 to 90% revenue share and then access to a geo-targeted audience of more than 1 million plus commuters. This opens up me to the next question, like, how does this stack up against the competition? You know, there are so many micro-learning apps like Duolingo and traditional platforms like Udemy, Skillshare, and other gamified platforms and indirect competitors in this segment. But none of them are truly commute optimized like this product. Commute does not just deliver a lesson, it delivers a frictionless experience which is tailored specifically to your commute. So what does a growth cycle for this looks like? Now imagine that you are going on a subway and you encounter a QR code which delivers you a free lesson. The magic hits when the user realizes that he can learn even without a signal. And the engagement keeps going on with gamified streaks and voice-activated quizzes. As the learner learns more about the platform, he is motivated to upgrade for features like network opportunities and booking coffee chats. This drives the monetization cycle, and as more and more commuters join the platform, instructors get higher payouts. And these top creators in turn attract more learners, and the cycle keeps going on. So what does the pricing strategy looks like? The pricing strategy, it starts from the free trial, moves to basic, and then to premium. The basic includes like offline downloads and access to all courses, whereas premium includes everything in basic, plus networking opportunities and mentorship. So is it profitable? Like, what does the revenue model looks like? If we do a simple math and target like 50,000 users by the end of next year, majority of the revenue comes from subscriptions with an assumption that there's an 8% conversion rate from free to paid, and 60 to 40 split between basic and premium. If we take out the instructor payout and ad revenue from promotions and ads, we still end up with 168K of projected net revenue. Now comes the next, how or what kind of metrics or success criteria we are looking at in order to drive this revenue model. So there are three core pillars: acquisition, engagement, and retention. So for acquisition, the goal would be to get at least 5,000 new users in the first month and have at least 50 instructors with 100 courses before the soft launch or launching the app, basically. Engagement will be focused on, making sure that there is a very high daily active user ratio and with more than 70% module completion rate. Retention, the target will be to build habit loops and minimize churn. So the goals will be more than 5% of trial to paid conversion initially, and then maintaining a less than of 10% monthly churn. This brings me to the roadmap of how I actually built this product. So the process started in August with foundational research, which included market research, user research, product research. Then moved to strategy and planning, and then finally designing and prototyping. The future holds for this product is like developing this product and finally, launching it. So in this process, what I learned overall was that the power of embracing agile in developing products, especially coming up with a minimum viable product after doing a couple of iterations by talking to users, and then validating the idea by using data over assumptions. Right now, my career focus is that I'm looking for entry-level product management roles or people to collaborate with me on this kind of project and taking it to the next level. Thank you, and I'm open for your questions, ideas, and feedback.
Amazing. That was so nicely done, Abbas. It was so much effort and numbers and details were put into it. And just for everyone in the audience, as well as our guest speakers, as they're joining us, Abbas actually took the time to survey all the 60 people that he mentioned, and all the numbers are very well thought out. And it's amazing. And yeah, like Chris just even mentioned in the comment section on the side that he had a lot of feedback. So really great to hear that. With that, if our guest speakers could join us and give their feedback on this.
Hey, Abbas, like really interesting presentation, and as well as product that you've outlined here. I think the problem that you've articulated is fairly common. I know it's something that I've experienced as well, or how do I make use of this downtime where it feels like it's not being very productive, and I like how you actually quantified it too. If it's a day a month, and that I think has a meaningful impact when you put it that way. I also like how you commented on, or you kind of addressed the competitors, like the Duolingo, some other ones that I'm aware of as well. And you had called out that, or you had identified, I should say, that your product was more commute optimized versus the other ones. I just wanted to dig into that a little bit more to understand really how you see your product being that differentiator and being more optimized for commute experience. Is there, because in some cases there was some overlap there with, you could do digestible content, you could do offline access, but I'm very curious what you see as being that key differentiator that would get people to start using your app.
Sure, that's a great question. So this brings me back to the slide where I described the solution. So it allows you to configure your commute journey, and this commute journey, when you configure it, you can specify the type of commute you are using. Like, for example, if you're using a flight, if you're using, say, for example, a subway, if you're using a car, if you're using a TTC, a bus, whatever. And that schedule, you can also provide a schedule for it, like on which weeks you are going to take this kind of commute. And once you do that, you can attach that commute to any kind of learning module that you want to learn, basically. And this optimizes it in a way that if it's a type of commute where audio-free, hands-free learning is much better than compared to like going through and typing or scrolling things. So it will optimize it for you. AI will do it automatically, and it will chunk the long form lessons into topics and pieces. And then it will present it to you in a format that is most optimized for that type of commute, for that duration of journey. And in order to avoid any kind of syncing issues or app crashes, so what it does is that when it does the offline syncing, it does it for enough time for you to have those digestible bits, so that you don't run out of timed modules in your learning journey. And when you are back on that learning journey, it then auto syncs using tokens, and post when there's a reconnection, it syncs automatically in the background, so you don't have to worry about it. So in that sense, it allows you to maintain a progress on your commute, and it allows you to be engaged during that time, and utilize that time more productively.
Okay, thank you for that. The other question I'm curious about is around your go-to-market and how you would expect or plan to attract more of the content creators, so the instructors. Do you have an idea of how you'd kind of reach them and get their sort of interest to participate?
Absolutely. So it's a twofold strategy, to be honest. I've thought of it, and the first will be to reach out to them through Partner for Prosperity campaign. So it will be like a Partner for Prosperity campaign on ad forums, as well as through LinkedIn ads and other things, to reach out to them with incentives of $100 or $200 per course for them to onboard. And those will be like top 50 instructors that we will onboard initially, and they will be paid for per session basis. Like, for example, if they attract top commuters or top learners, then on per session basis, they will be rewarded like $0.05 per session completed per learner. So in that sense, for each day, they can make like hundreds of thousands of dollars in bonuses. And that will still keep us afloat, because based on the revenue model, we are also like promoting and doing ads and stuff. So that brings in extra revenue for the time being when the app is in its initial stages of growth. The second way would be to do a cold outreach to the top creators and partner with universities, and as well as corporate social responsibility for different companies, because different companies, they offer learning incentives or learning amounts for each employee to be used each year. Like, they will give $100 for each employee to basically use for any kind of learning opportunity. So partnering with them and using that to attract more top professionals to the platform, in turn will attract like more and more instructors who want to basically use this audience to generate that revenue. So there will be like this twofold approach, but initially it will be based on money, so like providing incentives for them to have those courses.
Awesome. Okay, thanks for sharing that.
Hey Abbas, nice presentation. I loved your communication and your expression, your different way of presenting the slides. Really cool. Like, seem less formal, more communicative. Okay, great idea. I think Jake actually covered a lot of questions I had, and you have answered them. But I see some loopholes here which I want to draw your attention to. So currently, okay, so you have clearly thought about accessibility and user convenience, and that's great. But offline access is something many users still value in low connectivity environments. So platforms like the major platforms like Coursera and Udemy, even Spotify, they already offer offline modes and audio only modes. So what is your other unique standing factor? And already,
Okay,
so basically, yeah.
Sorry, please go on. Yeah, I thought you had
No,
finish
from
your question, please.
differentiating from the other edtech platforms, right? This is like recreating a whole edtech platforms. So to attract user like that, you have to like really press on some hair on fire problem that they actually kind of remove another app and download your app. So we want to identify that hair on fire problem. And these courses, like as far as the courses that I've been taking, all of them, like all the edtech platforms exist because people did not value long form content, and they wanted like small sections, like small chapters. After that, they have like a standard thing, right? Small chapters, then a quiz, then the next chapter. So how do you plan to like stand out?
Yeah. That's a great question. So I'll answer like the first question before, and then I'll move on to the second question. So for your first question, yes, it's true that there are traditional platforms like Coursera and Skillshare and many other platforms, right? And some of them offer offline access as well. And I had that thought too. So what I did was that I went to Google App and I downloaded all the reviews for the past 4 years. That's about more than 9,000 reviews or so. And I found out that even though they provided that access, offline access, it really never worked for them. Like it caused a lot of download issues. It caused a lot of issues with pricing the product, and there were many app crashes. It was difficult for the users to use that, and that offline access was never being integrated with their commute journey. Like they didn't have that experience of having an offline course that is tailored to their commute. So that is one way that Commute stands out from those kind of traditional platforms. And second, for your second question, which is also a really interesting thought, and I think, uh, yeah, sorry, for your second question, can you repeat? Can you repeat
Like
that?
you said that a feature of automatically chunking the
Ah,
long form
yeah.
content into short form.
Yeah. So that feature was no, sorry, that was not your question. Like, I'm sorry, I'm missing on that question. Your second question.
Uh, okay, I'm not sure. But one another thing I was thinking is that so now like you also need the users to come in on board, and then they have to like map their, to take advantage of your whatever experience you're offering. They have to actually map their journeys and their times, their calendar, and choose specific courses they want to see in that. So, two questions here. First of all, this is an overhead for the user. So basically, if I am using any app, it is to save my time and not to add extra work to my schedule. If I have to do that, I will run away. And second thing is that if okay, even if I say I take the efforts and I say that okay, every day between 4 to 5 I travel from downtown to Mississauga, and I will create that mapping, and I travel with TTC. So with this information, like what are you doing in the back end to differentiate it, like apart from like the chunking of lessons, like how does it make a difference whether in 4 to 5 I'm traveling by a flight, or I'm traveling by TTC, or I'm traveling with a GO train?
Yeah, so for your first question, it could be an extra level of effort on the person who is basically using this app. I agree, but that is an important part of the experience for the user, because we are not asking the user a lot of questions in the beginning when he's actually registering for the app. We are asking this question when he's actually going to use that during his commute. And this is an integral part, because if you think about a flight, you will need to download like an hour or 2 hour or 3 hour, even six or 7 hours of content offline in order to access it. Whereas if you are going on TDC, a simple syncing of like 20-30 minutes of content is enough for you. And then when a person actually enters into a geo-targeted area like a TTC or subway, so there is a feature for the AI to detect that you are in that zone, and it provides you with a geo-targeted promotions for the kind of things that you can look for or you can learn. So in that sense, it basically provides an incentive for you to learn effectively during your commute based on the type of commute that you are taking.
Okay, interesting. So, sorry, what geo-targeting? So, based on my
Yeah.
location?
Location, yes. So, for
Okay.
example, if you're in a TDC, and if you're in like a or if you're in like a going to a crowded area, or the type of commute that you're taking, based on that, or maybe if you are driving a car and you want like a hands-free experience, right? So by configuring that commute, it tells the AI how to prepare the course for you. It in the background, it just doesn't do like dynamic AI chunking. It does rendering. It does a whole bunch of things to prepare that course for you.
Okay. So just like even the video editing and the chunking itself, like it's a very heavy token, heavy infrastructure mechanism on the back end. Like, so, and also you said that one of the ways to acquire initial customers was providing incentives in terms of like, yeah, like dollars to them. Like, so how do you plan to be getting that initial amount for the company to be able to distribute it
Um,
onboard customers?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So the idea was to acquire the commuters at least organically in the beginning. But in order to grow that cycle, we are providing incentives during the referral phase, which is like around $15 to bring in like more and more commuters on the platform. And yes, initially we need a kind of money in order to do that. So you have to raise money in order to basically uh, get off with acquiring users and doing that thing. Yes, it's true. And my estimate is it's that we need around $50,000 in order to onboard commuters in the first month, and also to acquire instructors for the soft launch 1 month before.
Okay, sounds good. Now, thank you so much. I think you've got like a good foundation of the problem and you've done pretty good research. I think we just want to focus on a problem that's really like very real and recurring. So I encourage you to go down that path. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your questions and feedback.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for providing feedback. I know all of our students value that so much. So for this last little portion, I'll hand it over to Tia to kind of wrap everything up for us.
Yeah, so first, before we do a wrap up, I want to invite the instructor, Chris, on stage to join us and talk a little bit about what this class has done. Yeah, welcome, Chris.
Hi, can you hear me well? Excellent. First and foremost, thank you for having me, and it's been a pleasure teaching this class from the very get-go, and this is obviously my first opportunity to teach at CircuitStream, but I think it's been wonderful, and I've been so proud of how much every single one of my students have been able to accomplish over the past 5 to 6 months, I think. Ultimately, I wanted to say that this cohort has been very, very receptive to collaborating, engaging, doing a lot of challenges together, learning a whole bunch of things. And I think I've challenged them so much to a point that I feel like the capstones speak for themselves in terms of the quality, the dedication that they've put into it. So I would just have to say that best of luck to all of you. I think that you've been an amazing cohort to work with. I'm so proud of how much you've been able to learn, and looking forward to seeing you as product managers in the near future.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And now we'll get everybody who has participated, the guest speakers and our students up on stage. And I just want to say a huge congratulations to you for finishing this boot camp. Your capstone projects were amazing, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you because I know how much work you put into this. And to our guest speakers, a huge thank you as well. We really appreciate your time. We know it's hard to take out time and give this feedback to students, but we really value that time that you put into coming here, giving them feedback. They really value it, and we always get that feedback from them. So your mentorship and your time is very, very important, and we value it so, so much. And we want to see you in future pitch days as well. And yeah, now I will just pass it back to Manur to talk a little bit about our partnership program once again.
Thank you so much to all of our guest speakers. And like Tia said, our students appreciate it a lot, challenging their ideas and providing a different perspective than everyone else that's been kind of giving them input. So thank you so much for joining us. All the feedback that you've shared, I'm sure it's really incredibly valuable for all of our students. For those of you in the audience that are not partners with us yet, we have several partnership opportunities, anything from speaking at events, hiring our students, or being an instructor with us. Please send me any questions that you may have. My email is up here on the slide. So I'm super happy to connect with everyone. And with that, Thank you so much again for being here and being a part of our pitch day. And we're so proud of our graduates. So a big round of applause for the 3 students that we have here today, as well as our guest speakers. So thank you so much. Perfect.
Hey, congratulations to everyone and all the participants. You've graduated. Big day, go party hard.
Amazing. Thank you guys, and we'll all be in touch soon. Bye now.
Bye bye.
Thank
Cheers.
you.